You are stepping over quarters to pick up pennies. You are picking up all these tiny little pebbles when there's some big ass rocks to focus on. And that's the mistake that most people make in their life. My name is Brian Panuzzo. I am a former bond trader turned executive health and performance coach. I know exactly why your health keeps losing to your calendar, and I help you build a system that fixes it for good. I know your world as a financial professional from the inside because I lived it for 20 years. And as I always say, if I can do it, so can you. Welcome back to the show. This is the Success Lift podcast. I am your host, Brian, and we are going to get into the most important conversation that you can have with yourself when it comes to manipulating your body composition, i.e., for 95% of us, that's going to be likely, at least in the beginning, losing weight. All right. Seeing that number on the scale go down, that's elusive, that never wants to move. That's the enemy of us that you don't understand, Brian. My hormones and my metabolism just don't work anymore. And it's really, really hard as you get old and all that. Yeah, but yeah, wah. I just tried to go into my Charlie Brown voice and I wasn't really sure exactly where I wanted to take that. But that's what I hear when people say things like that to me because, come on, man, I'm 48. I got clients who are 65 and 67 in my program, 55 and 53. In the best shape of their life. I've never looked as good except when I was 21 in college playing basketball for 4 hours a day, putting steroids in my ass, okay? Like this is like totally possible for you. You have to do a few things. First of all, you got to take a long-term approach. I'm 11 years into this game, okay? And so if you think you're going to get results in 3 months, when you finally decided after 10 or 15 years that you're ready to make a change and you get frustrated because you're not where you want to be. Look, I get it. I've been there too. I still sigh, but I've been there. So I understand. It's a regular conversation that I have. I tell all my clients, gear up because this is a multi-year journey. You don't have to be with me for multiple years. I do have clients inside of our program that have been with me for over 3 years, but it's going to take years. Now, is it going to take 15 years? No, it's not going to take 15 years. But as you'll experience, there are levels to this game. And you will, if you are anything like me, and you probably are, because you're a high performer and a high achiever, and you haven't been satisfied with aspects of your career, you keep chasing, you haven't been satisfied with aspects of your family as a husband and a father, so you keep chasing, that there's going to be things, new levels, new devils, as they say, and you will continue to chase more. And I'm 11 plus years, almost 12 years in to this now, and I keep going after more for myself because there's always more. But if you want to make real progress real quick, you're going to have to get a handle on and attack your nutrition program. Now, I will do a Q&A episode soon on a lot of the common questions I get around nutrition. I put a little request out to my email list. If you're not on my email list, you need to go to thesuccesslift.com/join and get on that. I pump out a short, very digestible email each morning at 5 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You don't have to read every single one. Skip a bunch. I got people that are constantly on like 1 week lags that reply that let me know they're just catching up. They saw my last few. They haven't seen them all. They love them. Thanks so much for this. I get it. A daily email is kind of a lot in your inbox. Nobody's asking you to read it every single day. You don't have to ask. You don't have to read it every single day. You might want to. It might be valuable to you, but go there, check it out, because I asked my email readers what questions they had, and I got a lot of good ones. And so I'm formulating, I'm aggregating a Q&A episode, and a bunch of them are on nutrition, and a bunch of them are on supplements, and a bunch of them are on my opinion about this and that, and I'm going to get to it. But before we do that, there are so many more important things, and I'll cover a couple of things that I just hinted about in this quick conversation. There are so many more important things that you need to focus on when it comes to looking and feeling your best. And for most of us, seeing that scale go down, okay? Seeing the scale go down. And so I'm going to talk about what we have shown our clients inside of our program in terms of like the pyramid of hierarchy. All right. And so we have the high performance health, the success lift, nutrition pyramid. If your primary goal is fat loss, which for most people it is. Now I'll sprinkle some non-nutrition stuff in there as well, just so that this is a more complete and holistic pyramid, not just your food, but the primary reason behind this is like people got it all wrong, man. You are stepping over quarters to pick up pennies. I don't know if that's the exact phrase, but I just thought of that in my head and it sounds pretty good to me. You are picking up all these tiny little pebbles when there's some big ass rocks to focus on. And that's the mistake that most people make in their life. All right. So let's get into it. All right. Everybody knows what a pyramid is shaped like a triangle. And of course, if we want a strong pyramid, a strong building, a strong structure, we need to have a strong foundation. The foundation of our structure is going to hold us up in the tough times. If we don't have a strong foundation, whatever we put on top of it is almost worthless, sometimes actually worthless. And what I see far too often is too many people are focused on the top of the pyramid. I will explain, don't worry. I will explain. You are focused so much on the things that come at the top because, unfortunately, you think they actually belong at the bottom, and they don't. And so the most important thing that you can focus on when it comes to nutrition specifically, but this covers anything, fitness, a routine, anything. It's not just this is, so it ain't protein, all right? It ain't food quality, it ain't supplements, because those things are obviously dealing around nutrition. And I'm telling you that the most important thing, the thing that everybody gets wrong, especially to start, because we're all human beings and this is human nature, is that they don't build the foundation of their pyramid, their program, whatever journey they're headed on. They don't build it around adherence. Adherence is the most important thing that we can factor in to a program that we build for you, whether it be a custom nutrition program, which our clients get, a custom training program, which is which is something that our clients get, or helping them build effectively a custom lifestyle program, which is again something else that our clients get from us based on their unique lifestyles, needs, and desires. And so if I tell you, a lot of times I have guys get on the phone with me and before their clients, because after their clients, they know better because we teach them real quick, get you right into shape real quick. That's a figurative shape, not literal. Literal comes a little bit after that. Just tell me what to eat. I just need to be yelled at to what to do. Cool. So I could tell you what to eat. I could tell you to bring your steamed chicken and broccoli to your client event. I could tell you to never have alcohol again because it's poisonous. I could tell you to have a 90-minute morning routine because that's what everyone on Instagram says to do. I could tell you to never consume blue lights, like the light in screens, like our phone and our TVs after 7 or 8 p.m. And you should have this monk-like wind down routine. I should tell you to eat, 3 hours before you go to bed and don't eat any later than that. I could tell you to only eat, organic, pasture raised, like and non-GMO, this, that. I think you get the point. Can you stick to it? Can you stick to it? This is why all programs fail, every single one of them, because they can't be adhered to by the client for whatever reason. There's a number of reasons. But for the most part, especially people who don't do this with professional help, they go too fast. They see something online that somebody who has either advanced genetics or enhanced assistance via steroids and peptides are getting, and they're talking about their own routine, and they don't live your life. They sit around and make videos all day. They don't get up and have only 40 minutes of a window to work out. They don't have a 60-minute commute. They don't have 2 kids, 3 kids, 4 kids. They don't have 2 practices to get to, 16 games on the weekends between all of them, couples dinner, date night, event at the club, quick member guest, 24-hour business trip, back-to-back meetings. A market that shits itself when it's not supposed to and creates a lot of chaos in your life. They don't have all these things. You do. So their life looks pretty easy to navigate. They talk about this thing they're doing and this new supplement they're taking. Can you adhere to it? Can you adhere to the plan that I build you? That is consideration number 1. And by a mile, the most important thing. Because I can build you the perfect plan. But if you cannot stick to the plan that I build you, it is effing worthless. Worthless. We might as well throw it away. Because you'll continue to start and then stop and get frustrated. And ultimately, you'll have a moment where you go further backwards than you have forwards. Make no mistake, even with the perfect plan for you, not the perfect plan, the perfect plan for you, a step backwards here and there is inevitable. The hard moments here and there are inevitable. Months of no progress sometimes. I don't want to say inevitable, but happens. Even with the perfect plan asterisk for you, try to execute a random perfect plan that you see on someone's Instagram account, you're dead. You're dead in the water. And that's why so many people struggle, because they see something new. They get, I don't know what the syndrome is, but dog in window, see squirrel. I mean, my dog absolutely thinks every squirrel is her new best friend. So I get it. It's very exciting. My dog gets very excited when she sees a new squirrel. New buddy, new best friend. If you can't adhere to it, it's worthless. All right. So from a nutrition perspective, from all things, from a workout perspective, I don't need you going from the couch to the CrossFit gym 7 days a week. If previously you were going 0, how about we get up and take a 20-minute walk on a daily basis? Well, Brian, what good is that going to do? Well, not that much in isolation, but if you take a 20-minute walk every single day, it's going to help. And that 20 minutes becomes 30 or 40 or another 20 minutes. And coming back from that 20-minute walk, you're less likely to put the waffles in the toaster, and you're more likely to make some eggs, egg whites, Greek yogurt, fruit, a protein shake. So these things start to compound as we build the pyramid higher and higher. And so from a calorie perspective, from a from a nutrition perspective, let's focus on the next set of bricks in the foundation, in the pyramid. And that is, as I just slipped and gave it away, it's calories. It's total calories. Quantity of food, quantity of gas in the tank. I tell kids all the time, I'm working with several teens inside of my program who are children of our adult clients. We have a teen program, Success Lift program. We're helping a few teens get jacked and strong for their sports next season, in their high schools. And we're helping them predominantly build muscle. So we're adding calories. So most of you listening to this probably are interested in reducing calories. Now there's tricks to that are not part of this episode. Maybe I'll sprinkle it in a little bit if I have time. But we are pushing them to add calories. So right above adherence, it's how much are you taking in versus how much are you expending? Expenditure, calorie expenditure versus intake, energy balance, that's called. America, you probably over the course of the last 15 or 20 years have been on the wrong side of the energy balance equation. Not a lot, but just like a little bit, probably. A little bit a year, a little bit, or maybe a lot for a month. Think Thanksgiving to Christmas. Expenditure is down intake, right, is real high. And so therefore, in January, you don't love the results. Now you chip away at a few of those, but you don't get them all back. And then you run into the next cycle, or maybe it's the summertime gets a little loose on you. And it's like, that's most people, they gain weight in short bursts. And so little by little, your calories have erred on the side of surplus, we call it deficit and surplus. And point blank, 100% scientific, don't come at me with anything else about fasting and blood glucose and sugar and carbs and fats and food quality and organic this and organic that. It is calories in and calories out that determine your weight on the scale. That might make some of you butthurt, and I'm sorry. Now, there's lots of asterisks there. There's lots of nuance around that very broad statement that I just made. Because eating high quality foods is definitely going to help you manage your quantity most of the time. Now, if you just sit there and guzzle olive oil and eat tons of avocado and have tons of almonds and walnuts and cashews and eat like lots of, red meat and salmon and eggs, because those are all healthy, and they are, you may find yourself in a calorie surplus, because all of those things are pretty high calorie. And that's where people don't understand the nuance of nutrition sometimes. Sometimes it's important to eliminate some of those things that make it easier for us to aggregate excess calories. And that's where the understanding of what our goal is versus tracking what we're doing and then making sure that our intake matches our desired outcome. And so next up in the hierarchy after adherence is total calories, quantity. All right. Not all the other crap you see on TV or on probably more like social media. Now, am I a fan of increasing the quality of our ingredients? Do I think in general, the Make America Healthy Again movement is a net positive one? Of course I do. 100% I do. Do I think they're focused on some of the wrong stuff? Yeah, not even close. Not even close. But in general, we should strive to consume healthier stuff. And I'll explain the relationship between the two shortly. Next up in your nutrition pyramid hierarchy, it's actually not food quality. It's high quality protein. Now, this maybe could be debated. This will cause some people who are food quality, ride or dies, to push back and get a little annoyed. But getting high quality protein is more important than your overall food quality. And there's some nuance here, because obviously high quality protein means you're eating pretty high quality food. And I doubt that you're going to eat a lean piece of chicken with a bunch of French fries. But I'm telling you, you still could get great results doing that. All right. High quality protein is extremely important because, number one, protein is the building blocks of our cells. Our bodies take it very seriously. It is constantly looking for it. Up until about 6 months ago, there was literally, not no focus, but very, very little focus on your protein consumption, on people's protein consumption. That has started to change, and that's a great thing. Now, what does society do? Anytime something's being ignored is we absolutely student body right to the other end, and we go bananas with it on the other side. And so now there is this craze over protein that I think is slightly overdone as well. It's not as overdone as it was underdone for the last 15 or 20 years, but it's getting a little bit nuts. Every single thing you see is starting to market how much protein it has, or that it has protein, when in reality, they're not very efficient sources of protein. And most likely it's causing people to just overconsume calories still. So I don't know if there's been much of a net benefit. That probably won't be known for, I don't know, a couple of years when they look back and do studies and things like that. But everything in its mother has protein now. Doesn't mean that everything that has protein in it is an efficient source of it. We actually teach our clients how to decipher whether or not a wrapper that you're looking at, a food label, is an efficient source of protein. I'll give it to you real quick since I love you and I appreciate you listening. Take the total grams of protein on your food wrapper. All right, let's just say it has 10 grams of protein. Multiply the number 10 grams of protein. I probably should have. Let me back up so nobody gets confused. Let's say it has 20 grams of protein. All right, multiply 20 grams of protein times the number 10. Okay. Which is 200 for anybody who's challenged with math. If that 200 is equal to or less than, or more than total calories. I actually have a bar right in front of me. I didn't plan this. For those of you on video, you're going to get a tutorial real quick. This bar, I don't know if it gets a little blurry or not, has 20 grams of protein in it. Okay. We take 20, we multiply it times 10. And we see that there are 200 calories in the bar. And so 200 equals 200. If we get to the same number or a higher number, let's say it had 150 calories in it, we get a higher number than the calories, we have an efficient source of protein. Does that mean it's a good or bad choice? We don't know. Why? Well, because there's a lot of different foods that don't pass that test. Carrots, blueberries, strawberries, spinach, arugula, you name it. All right, potatoes. These don't pass the protein times 10 test. It doesn't mean it's bad for you. Everything I just named was extremely healthy. It means that it's not an efficient source of protein for the calories, but you don't need to take every single food and go, is this an efficient source of protein? Sometimes you have foods that are very high in protein, like a piece of grilled chicken, like a bunch of shrimp, like deli turkey and ham, like egg whites, right? Like a really lean steak or lean ground beef, and you pair, which has way more than the protein times 10 versus total calories. Then you have rice and vegetables or fruit or potatoes with it. And so you pair these things together. And so that's a great way for you to know whether or not you're consuming something that is a good source of protein. For the most part, our clients tend to have protein allocations, percentages of their total nutrition, their total calories of between 30 and 40%. Now, again, big asterisk, tons of nuance there. What phase are you in? How many total calories, do you have? Are we really restricting calories? But in general, if we keep protein between 30 and 40%, I would say almost every single one of my clients is there. With the exception of a few, I'm actually one of them. Sometimes my protein is not 30% of my total calories because I consume a lot of calories and I just don't need that much protein. As a general marker, about a gram per pound of body weight is a great general marker for how much protein you should be consuming, okay? All sorts of asterisks coming below, okay? If you have pretty meaningful weight to lose. 30, 50, 75 or more pounds, we'd probably go with target body weight or lean mass, or like how much lean mass do you have on your frame? That's another way you could do it. But in general, I like a gram per pound of body weight, unless we know we're trying to rip 20, 30, 40 or more pounds off, then we might reduce the number. The other time we might reduce the number is if your calories are such that it makes getting the gram per pounds of body weight like not impossible, but really prohibitive. And so for somebody who's consuming 1,700 calories a day, who's 240 pounds, who is trying to get to 210, I would probably stop at 170 grams of protein. Again, remember, 170, right? Divide 1,700 by 170, you get 10, or multiply 170 times 10, you get the 1,700. That's about the threshold, 40% of total calories. Otherwise, as I say to my clients, you kind of feel like you're walking around like a bodybuilder with grilled chicken in your pockets. Is it doable? Yes, it is. Do people prepping for bodybuilding shows eat more than 40% of their total calories from protein? Yes, they do. Are you a professional bodybuilder prepping for a show and doing the things that they are willing to do on a consistent basis for 6 to 8, 12 months? No, you're not. So why would we build you a program that looks like theirs? Because at the bottom of every strong pyramid foundation is ding, 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 adherence. So we got to make sure you can adhere to it. And that's usually the threshold in my experience working with hundreds of people just like you. That's the threshold for adherence. Okay, after high quality protein, where is the food quality, Brian? Where is your organic vegetables? Where are all the things that are going to kill us? The pesticides, the spray that we have, the sugar in the fruit. Next up is food quality. And this is where we start to pay attention to food quality. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not important, okay? Because good luck trying to stick to your total calories, which is way further down at the bottom of the foundational pyramid, if you're eating low quality foods. And so these last three, quality, which is total calories, quantity, which is total calories, high quality protein, and food quality are very much intertwined. All right. I'm going to take my fingers and move them all together here. Okay. They're all intertwined. They go together. They're related. Okay. You can't stick to a plan that creates great results, that keeps calories in check, that prioritizes high protein without reasonable food quality. But why food quality goes up above quantity and protein is because you absolutely can make room for things that you enjoy. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that food quality is not as important as high quality protein. As I just said, they're pretty related. It just means that you certainly can include those French fries with the grilled chicken. You can have ice cream every night. You can have some wine. You don't have to consume all organic foods. That might piss a lot more people off. I'm sorry that I'm pissing you off on this episode. You don't have to. It's a reality. If you want to, you go, girl. Fully supportive of you doing that. Remember, there are different people listening to this. This is primarily delivered in the context of body composition. From a body composition standpoint, organic food is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. And from a health standpoint, it's debatable. It's debatable. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying it's debatable. The effectiveness is debatable. And so if we can construct a diet which is properly quantified in number of total calories, you're eating lots of high quality protein, and you're making sure to prioritize most of the time high food quality. What do we mean by high food quality? Well, we mean eating as many foods from single ingredients as close to nature as possible. What does that mean? Well, how many ingredients does an egg have? 1. How many ingredients does an apple have? 1. How many ingredients does broccoli have? 1. How many ingredients does blueberries, steak, well, you name it, so on and so forth. There's 1 ingredient. If you can eat single ingredient foods from as close to nature as possible, i.e. limit the processing in it, you are likely to have pretty good health, if not exceptional health. Not always, but usually. Okay? And so that's why food quality is very important, and it complements very well high protein and total calories, but technically not as important. Let's get to the last part of the pyramid. All right. I know you're probably waiting for all the other things that I need to name. Well, I'm not going to name them all because they're all right on the tippy top of the pyramid. It's literally everything else. Okay. Timing, when to eat. When is it most important that you eat? Should I fast, Brian? Should I eat right after a workout, Brian? Should I not eat 3 hours before bed because I heard that wrecks your sleep? The answer is it depends. Depends on you. The answer when it comes to the number on the scale is doesn't matter. Literally does not matter. You can eat every single one of your calories from the hours of 8 p.m. to 10:30. If you are eating in the proper range for you, you will not gain weight. You can lose weight eating in that window. Timing of food, eating late at night has absolutely nothing to do. Not waiting 12 hours so that you haven't, had a proper intermittent fast. Zero to do. You not drinking, not downing a protein shake the second after you put the dumbbell back in the rack when you're done with your workout at the gym has zero to do with your gains. Should you eat a well-balanced meal that's predominantly carbohydrates and proteins sometime within 60 to 90 minutes after your workout? Yes, you should. Do you have to rush to the smoothie bar to slug a protein shake back that probably has too many calories in it at your gym anyway? No, you don't have to do that. All right. So food timing, supplements, all this other crap we see online, a lot of it I'm going to deal with in the listener Q&A episode, the email list Q&A episode, is freaking irrelevant. Everything else is irrelevant. It's at the top of the pyramid, because when you build a plan that you can adhere to, that has accounted for it, total calories, quantity of food, that incorporates high protein. I guess I should backtrack a little bit and add in with high protein and food quality. By definition, if you know this stuff, it's insinuated in the food quality is fiber. High fiber diets have been shown to be wildly beneficial for a lot of different aspects of our lives, predominantly reduction of all-cause mortality, i.e. dying less. But from the perspective that we're talking about right now, which is getting the scale to go down, seeing body fat drop off of you, fiber is very satiating right behind protein. And it's also typically very low calorie. So if we can construct a diet that has lots of lean protein, high quality protein, and lots of low calorie fiber, think fruits and vegetables. We use the acronyms, well, I don't know if it's an acronym, but protein and produce, right? The linguistic rhyming of the two. Protein and produce. If you can eat shit tons of protein and produce, you're going to be in really good shape, literally and figuratively. Okay. So adherence, quantity of calories, high quality protein, food quality, everything else. Now let's come back quickly, back down towards the bottom of the pyramid. All right. Around food quality and protein, I would say high quality sleep and staying active. What do you mean by staying active, Brian? I mean, moving your ass. All right. Now, nuanced above that, higher on the pyramid would be strength training and cardio. All right. And then, but in general, it's just movement. Movement would be more important. Walking is more important than getting on the bike and getting your heart rate up. It doesn't mean getting on the bike, getting on the treadmill, doing your HIIT class isn't important. Those are all important stuff. Okay. Strength training, very important. Arguably, maybe more important than cardio, especially in the context of this conversation. Not as important as walking, not as important as moving, but those are right in the middle of the pyramid as well, from a lifestyle perspective, not just nutrition. If you found this episode helpful, hit reply, let me know. Like, shoot me a message, brian@thesuccesslift.com. Shoot me a text, 917-709-4283. Right? This is the stuff that matters. This is the stuff that people get wrong. They get too focused on the top of the pyramid. Peptides, TRT, supplements, timing of foods, literally everything else. The newest diet that they heard is celery juice cleanse. Fuck out of here with that. All right? Stick to the boring basics. Why does nobody do it? Well, because I just called them the boring basics, and they're kind of the boring basics. I would put you to sleep at a dinner party telling you how I stay around 10% body fat, looking the way I do at 48 years old, best shape of my adult life. It's boring as hell. It's boring as hell. But it gets results. If you want more results, follow this plan. If you want to know how to actually implement it directly into your life and deal with all of the things that come at you that throw you off of this is simple, pretty simple. Most people can't do it because they need accountability. Systems and accountability will change your life. If you want to know more about what we do, you can reach out to me, brian@thesuccesslift.com, or text me 917-709-4283. We'll see you back here next week.